Hello there. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the predictions I've been making and what's been happening. Some of them have already been materialising. So for example, I talked a lot about Pluto in Capricorn. Talked about it meaning structure and governments and changes, and we sure have had a lot of changes in governments, haven't we, around the world lately? But I also mentioned that Pluto in Capricorn relates to our understanding of death and dying and old age and what it means. And in the UK, Lord Faulkner has had to look at a new bill to help assisted suicide. So this is already something that, despite people who are against it, it is something that I think will eventually come to pass in many of the legal systems of the Western world. Also, there's been a report recently about an 11-year-old in the US who can remember his past life as a fighter pilot who got shot down in Japan. And it's an amazing story, and he's 11 years old and he's got all these facts and all these people that he remembers. So we're beginning to see some kind of a light, some kind of more acceptance, if you like, of reincarnation, understanding what life and death is all about. And I think you Scorpios are going to really enjoy this particularly. But for all of us, it's about understanding the veil between life and death. And I think that this will become clearer and it will be much more prominent in the months and years to come while Pluto is in Capricorn. Another effect that we've been feeling a lot is this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. And it's really been strong. We've got a lot of hysteria now coming up with the swine flu. Neptune rules infections, and spreading them would add the Jupiter influence. And I've been talking a lot about protecting yourself and having some supplies and stockpiling, just in case our supermarkets are not able to function. At least then you've got something in reserve and you're going to be able to survive nicely. Let's say if somebody has swine flu and you can't get out, at least you've got what you need nearby you. And also, this aspect is going to be with us until the middle of July at least, which is still going to mean a lot more euphoria, still a lot more changeability, but still the press and the media trying desperately to convince us that things are good and that the green shoots of recovery are happening. I advise you to be careful about this because Neptune also paints a wave of delusion and illusion. And finally, a big aspect I've been talking about is the Saturn opposition to Uranus, Saturn government structure, status quo, and Uranus, the new revolution change. And look what's been happening in Iran this week. If you've noticed the press, they've been talking about revolution, about governments toppling. They're using all the words that I've been using, and things are escalating. I think this is just the beginning. I think we're going to see a whole lot more of this around the world as more people lose their jobs, as there's more discontent, as there's more gap between rich and poor. We're going to see more strings of young people who can't get work start to be discontent and work in outrage against their governments and their regimes and their systems. So there you have it. That's what I've been seeing, that's what I am seeing, and giving you something to watch out for. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you soon.